Hello everyone. So this is the episode with Anjaneya Tiwari. He is a Duke grad and he works at Arista Networks. And we are Glitch in the Matrix. I'm Amitesh. He's Vedant. Let's roll, guys. Hi, Anjaneya. Can you tell a bit about yourself and your work?
Hi guys, thanks for inviting me over to this podcast. So my name is Anjaneya Tiwari and I work as a technical project manager for Arista Networks right now. And I recently graduated from Duke University with my master's in engineering management. Talking more about my personal life, I'm from India, grew up in a town called Kanpur in Uttar Pradesh. Went to Bangalore for my undergrad education, spent some good years in Bangalore as well before coming to the US.
That is amazing. So, Anjani, what motivated you to pursue a master's degree in United States? And Duke is obviously like a top-notch school in United States.
Right.
So how did you get there? How did you pave your way till Duke?
In my third year of engineering, I decided to pursue a summer school abroad. I went to my summer school in the UK to London School of Economics. That was my first exposure to, education abroad.
Mhm,
And even the coursework that I did there was bending towards business and management.
mhm.
So for an engineering guy to know more about how, companies work from a business standpoint was a real eye opener for me. The education system there is very hands-on, like very different from what we have in India. And that really motivated me to, think about studying abroad in the future. Duke and US was not on my mind at that time. It was more like someday education abroad. Yes, why
So
not?
you wanted to just get hands-on experience and you found that contrast.
Yeah, I think when I was growing up, I was never the studious guy, like never
Okay.
took studies very seriously. But then I think when I went to university, somehow towards the end, like the third year, the fourth year, I really got into doing research papers and like studying in general. And yeah, that motivated me to do the summer school abroad. And when I went there, I was, exposed to an environment where you had people coming from all these good colleges in India, the
Mhm.
IITs, the BITS Pilanis and everything. And being in that environment with those guys really motivated me and pushed me to, do something outside my comfort zone.
Wow.
And yeah, that's how that happened.
That happened. Amazing. So like you told that you were an engineering grad and then you took so if my understanding is correct, is this a exchange program in summer that students from
It's a summer school program. So basically, during June, July, and August, where you have holidays in India and the engineering schools, you can apply to any university abroad which has a summer school program,
oh
and
wow.
they would do a 3 month long course, like a certification. And depending on how flexible your university is, you can definitely transfer credits from your summer school university to your undergrad university.
Undergrad university.
Yes, in my case, my university was pretty flexible with transferring the credits.
Hmm.
So we were able to get, like, I was able to get few credits out of my summer school as well.
Okay. So like did you pay for your education for the summer school in
Yes,
you?
it's self-funded. You can apply through your university, like your undergrad university, and in some occasions they do sponsor a few students, but
Okay.
that's like a very rare scenario.
Okay, awesome, awesome. So, like people sitting and the students watching, like you can either get into exchange programs or you will have to fund your education if you want to get an experience of how education abroad looks like. That is amazing. But you must have faced some challenges in your way where you must have felt, dude, not in your summer exchange, summer study, like once you decided that you want to go and pursue your master's education there, there must have been some bottlenecks that people in India who want to study abroad into universities such as yourselves, like Duke or like big universities. So what can they learn from your challenges and how to overcome them easily?
Right. So are you asking about how my challenges while I was at the summer school or at Duke?
At Duke.
At Duke, okay. I think the first biggest challenge that I personally faced was handling everything on my own.
Hmm.
I'm a younger sibling, so I have my elder sister, and throughout my life, she has been the support system that I would always rely on, like anything, be it studies, be it anything. So till I was in India, it was fairly common for me to call her up anytime, ask for help for an assignment, for anything. But when you come this far away from your hometown,
Yeah,
and with a 12-hour time difference between you and your family, so I think the toughest part would be navigating your own journey on your own, right? Obviously you have their support at the back of your head, but then you don't really want to bug them all the time with the things that
that's
are
correct.
happening here. And unless people have experienced this, they cannot empathize with you on what you're going through or what you might be feeling. So I think that was the biggest challenge, to try to handle a lot of the things on my own.
Since I came to the USA, like my younger siblings and my friends or their younger siblings or people connected to me somehow, they started asking me, hey, how did you go there and what is the process and things.
Right.
So personally, I feel the challenge is like that shift from being around your family to just being a stranger in, yeah.
There are a lot of challenges, like you are away from family, of course, and then you are, even if you are in India, you have that sense of, community all around you. You
Uh-huh.
are in your homeland, etc., etc. Whereas when once you come to a foreign land, even if you look at our paperwork, it says we are resident aliens. So you are an alien in this country. So that's always on your in your head.
So, you are working at Arista Networks right now. We
Right.
will talk about that later. What does your company do? But before that, like, how did Duke molded Anjaneya to be that guy who is leading a project in like one of the world's biggest network companies?
Duke has been pivotal in a lot of the, achievements that I've recently got, and has molded my personalities in many ways. Any education system, especially here in the US, they don't really do something miraculous with you. They just give you the time and space and the opportunity to understand your own self, what your own talents are, which is inbuilt in you. You become very self-aware about who you are, what you bring to the table, what your talent is. Yes, you can learn the hard skills of, what product management is, how to create a roadmap.
Do you think putting yourself into that place where there are like-minded people and there are smart people, that helps a lot? And how does this help? And like personally, for me, it's been difficult to network while managing my schoolwork and while managing a life of international student because I have to cook, I have to do laundry, I
Right.
have to get my assignments done. Yet there are like very smart people you want to hang out with, you want to go to conferences, you want to go to fairs, you want to go to meetups. So
Right.
how did you manage that?
It's a tough question. I think a lot has to do with the mindset. Like, there's always so much happening around campus
Mhm.
that if you are sitting at home, you are definitely missing out on something, be it a networking event, be it a net. So I think, but you got to prioritize what's important for you and make sure that you hit those priorities first, right? So taking care of your body is probably priority one, should be priority one for most folks. So
Mhm.
eating the right food, doing the right work, doing your workout, that's obviously there. But I think coming back to a question of how did I manage through, I honestly don't have an answer, like an accurate answer towards that. Like I think just trying to be productive, having a good mindset around, what you want to do, that really helps. And a lot of people get bogged down by the fact that don't have enough work experience to be in a business school, while my colleagues or batchmates have 5 or 6 years of experience from, say, like a company like Microsoft. Now, how do I battle it out against this guy in
Right.
a one-on-one debate in college,
Yeah.
or just a proposal in college? Like, how do you do that? So I think a lot has to do with the mindset.
If you keep your head high and you go out and like if you manage
Yeah, I
yourself.
think you just got to be really, I think, focused inwards. I think work on yourself by what your peers are doing, because there's so much that everybody does here. Like,
Yeah.
if you keep thinking about, hey, this guy was able to do a TA-ship along with everything else and got into a research program as well,
Yeah.
why can't I do it? So if you keep comparing yourself, it gets difficult. So focus more towards yourself,
That's a
what
very
what
big
you want to
learning that it's a very deep statement. Like most people have hard time grasping that actually because comparison is the very you
Right,
just
right.
compare yourselves to everyone, right?
Yeah.
And to not compare yourself and like just keep focused on your thing, it is tough.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, it is tough, for sure. Like a good example I can give you is of a horse. Like when you look at a horse, he has those, I don't know what you call it, on his eyes, so
Yeah,
that he
yeah, I
just
know what
looks
you're talking
forward, not sideways.
about.
So narrowing down your focus towards what you want is something that is very important.
Yeah.
Hard to do, but yeah, if you do it the right way, then you would see the results pretty soon.
Right.
We can transition towards talking about your role as a technical product manager at Arista Networks, and maybe start with what the company is and what is the primary offering, and we can go from there.
Sure, sure, sure. So I work as a technical project manager for Arista Network. So Arista Network is basically a computer networking company, and they provide networking infrastructure to over 10,000 plus customers across the globe right now.
Mhm.
So we are into data center networking campuses. And just to give you a picture of how big we are, we just overtook Cisco in terms of market share in data centers. So we are currently the biggest company when it comes to providing networking infrastructure in data centers. So in terms of valuation, it's valued at over 100 billion right now.
Wow.
So
Right.
now coming down to what I do, so I work with the Technical Assistance Center, which is called as TAC. So Arista TAC is responsible for everything that happens post sales of a product. So handling support for those products for our customers, any escalations that we get is handled by my part of the organization, which is Arista TAC. So as a technical project manager, my underlying job responsibility is obviously getting structure into all the various projects that the TAC part of the organization is looking at. So at Arista, we have a pretty lean org structure. So there's a lot of work, but a limited people to do it. So you kind of have to very smart people, but limited. So you got to make sure that we have a good project plan so that things get done. So that I would say that's my underlying or like the most important part of my job.
I wanted to ask you about your motivation for being a project manager. Like,
Right.
why do you want to be a project manager and not anything else?
Right. Honestly, while I was looking for a job, project management was not my, priority at that time. I wanted to become a product marketing manager because that's where my internships were and that's what I wanted to do as well. But when this opportunity came my way, there is bits and pieces of product marketing still involved in my job role as of now as well. Although my title is project manager, like a technical project manager, but in my role, I get the opportunity to work with a lot of various different teams, be it the marketing team, be it, the other PM teams and engineering teams. So, but if you, and then you have a lot of transferable skills that a product marketing manager or a PM has or a project manager has. So I think that was my basic motivation of to getting this role because it was offering me the diversity to get my hands dirty with various different types of things within an org. So because of that dynamic behavior, it led me to choose this opportunity.
So you see yourself working in this role for foreseeable future, or you want to transition to something else?
So as of now, I'm really enjoying my role at Arista. A
Right.
huge shout out to my manager and my leadership at Arista Tech because they gave me this opportunity to not just do project management, but try my hands at whatever I want to do, honestly. So given what's going on right now, I think I'm pretty much satisfied and happy with my job role. The learning curve has been great.
So we were talking about networks, what a network is and why network is important. Everybody is chasing artificial intelligence. Everybody is building processors, robots, or like large language models.
Yeah.
Where does network come into play?
Right. So, in order to run anything smoothly, be it an AI application, be it a LLM, or just your day-to-day internet, if you want to keep it up reliable and have low latencies, then you got to have a good networking infrastructure, right? By networking infrastructure, I mean switches, ports, access points,
Right.
etc. So the basic infrastructure that provides you connectivity, right? Unless you have good connectivity, reliable connectivity, all of these applications are not going to run smoothly. And that's where Arista comes in, right? So a lot of people put focus on, hey, ChatGPT or OpenAI and NVIDIA are the forefronts of AI companies. But that's true. But then Arista Network and all these networking companies also have a big role in that because if you want to keep the LLM running, you've got to have a very reliable AI fabric,
100%.
which we call as in networking. So that's where Arista comes in with their switches and ports. So you need them to be running reliably to run your AI model.
What is an AI fabric? Macro level
What
view.
it means is on any network that your, the LLM or the AI software is running needs to run on a reliable connected internet access, right? So that's where those switches and ports provide you that.
Understood, understood. So AI fabric is something like it constitutes of a robust network that supports your high weight and high parameter, high computational engines, which are used to run other language models and other services and products, right?
Right, right. So don't quote me on, what I said.
Uh-huh.
Probably you can do a Google search on what AI fabric is
Sure,
exactly
sure.
and let the viewers know that. But yeah, in short, for running any AI
Yeah.
or ML based project, chatbot, LLM, you need a reliable network. And unless you have that, you won't achieve the output that you're looking for. And that's where Arista comes in.
We are usually very interested in AI tech and things and business. Can you tell which are your customers largely and what they are thinking and in which direction is AI race moving ahead?
Yeah, so I think in terms of customers, we have 10,000 plus customers globally. So any big company that you can think of is probably an Arista customer in some way and form. So be it Microsoft, Apple, Nvidia, Tesla, Google, all of these are Arista customers. So, but if you talk about where they are going with AI, I don't think I have a very definitive answer for that. I do see a lot of applications for doing the repetitive kind of work that most folks were doing, AI taking over that.
Mhm.
So I think, yeah, that's where the future should be going or is going?
I think so. Me and Vedant, like we usually meet once a week and we just discuss like what are the updates and things. I personally feel that the race is very fast and there are very big players with a lot of money. And this startup creator in video.ai, he has been like trying to revolutionize the video creating journey. Sam Altman is chasing a different thing. He has transformed from a researcher to a like cut sharp businessman. And so a lot of things are happening and it's a very fast moving environment. And I think there is a gap in the market because not understands what AI is, but directly or indirectly that is affecting their lives because Instagram and WhatsApp, they have already integrated artificial intelligent things into their application. It's moving very fast and everybody's trying to get ahead in the race to fulfill that gap of the knowledge. We are here, we are just trying to uncover things that are being like happening in AI. Do you have any questions for us? And then I have a whole list of questions.
If you ask for my personal opinion on where AI is going, I think yes, the rate of development in AI is pretty rapid. Every month or so you see some advancements in AI, but I think at the same time, the challenge is really, are folks able to leverage in the way that it should be?
Yeah.
With so many bad applications of AI as well, be it a deep fake video, audio, whatever you want, you see on the internet. So
Mhm.
there are various applications which can go wrong with AI as well if not,
Handled
used
right.
wisely. So when I look at AI, or how I explain AI as of now to a lot of layman's, is like a extremely smart child, all the knowledge of the world. Now it's up based on you on how you want to train him and grow him up. He could either be a good Tony Stark and turn out to be Iron Man, or be a bad Tony Stark and become Doctor Doom, like just an Avenger reference. It's really on how you want to use AI, and I think there should be some sort of government intervention. There should be harder policies, like a government body looking after AI reforms. So unless we have that, it's really hard to stop the bad applications of AI. At the same time, the good applications need to be to the wider audience. Like people should know how to use these AI models and should be given enough, confidence that hey, AI is not here to take away your jobs. It's here to make your life more productive, like
Right.
make the human race more productive in general. So there's a lot of myths that go around AI. Some companies do realize that and start making their marketing narratives more on the lines of how AI can help them
Mhm.
and give that
Yeah.
feeling that hey, this is not going to eat up your job but create more jobs. Like prompt engineering was not even a job, but right now you see a lot of companies having designated prompt engineers.
How do you see the artificial intelligent tools transforming your domain of work, project management and product management and development?
I use AI tools all the time during my day-to-day working, be it to streamline projects, help me brainstorm, help me do market research. I think it's a great tool to leverage if done the right way. It helps me do a 5-hour work within an hour or two.
What tools do you use in your
So I
day-to-day?
usually use ChatGPT or Claude. So those are my two go-to LLM models. So I usually use them for some sort of market research, or if I want to just make something bounce my thoughts. So I think that's how I use it. It's more like a refined search model the way I use it,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
the way I leverage it right now. He is also making something similar.
Yeah. Vedant, do you remember that ChatGPT came out with the news that they are trying to give competition to Perplexity AI, and they're also getting into the same space of like search engine integrated LLM. Did you
Yeah,
read that?
I think they announced this tool called Search GPT, right?
Yeah.
So something
Yeah.
like that. So it's perceived to be like a competition to Google. And so when they made this announcement, Google's stocks went down, by a lot. So
Actually,
that was the news, but I don't think it's actually out yet. It's only in the hands of a few selected individuals.
people,
So,
yeah.
we
And
have to
Sam
wait
Altman
for
already
OpenAI to
given
show.
this statement that 3% of Google users are transitioning towards ChatGPT. So that's a like big number, 3% of global users. I mean, everybody uses Google. I mean, like you
Right.
you might not be using Instagram, you might not be using Pinterest, but you have to use Google to
Yeah.
at least go to Instagram, right?
Right.
So yeah, that's a big market share. By the way, Anjane, do you think that there are some AI applications that encountered in your way and you did not know about them? Maybe your teammate or maybe like people working for you, they come up to you and they are like, hey, like let's use this for this use case. How do you feel about that working in a big organization? Are you like, hey, just karo isko kar dete hain aaj hi? Or do you like, hey, please hold up, I wanna go to my manager and take some permissions, whether it is compliant with the company policies. How
Right.
do you go about that?
Yeah, I think if you talk about how to leverage these models in a workspace, you have to take a wise judgment, like what is the information that I can share it with this LLM, right? Or can I share it online? Because once you put down a prompt or a piece of PDF
Mm-hmm.
to ChatGPT, it's in their database as well, right? So you got to be wary of the information that you can share it with them. So there are ways, obviously, to mitigate that, make it anonymized, make it
Yeah.
don't give him the exact details, give him a bigger picture, and then ask your prompts around that. There should be an ethical way of using it, and people should be knowledgeable enough to know that, hey, this is the right way of using this particular tool.
Tool.
And if
Right.
you talk about how people look at AI models within a company, so there are still challenges where most people do not know how to interact with the LLMs or what exactly is an LLM. They look at it more from a perspective of a glorified search engine, which it is not right now.
Yeah.
It's a conversational model. There has to be a lot of training and knowledge articles should be published by these companies to let the wider audience know of what this tool is, what it is meant to do for you, how to use it, how to leverage it. Anthropic has like a whole page where they teach you how to do prompt engineering and what is it all about and how do you leverage the LLM the best. But I still see the adoption is not really high. Still hardly, I would say 5% roughly about use these tools at work, unless they already have like a built-in tool which their company uses.
Are there any job openings that has been recently shot up in your company or your subsidiary or sister companies with AI oriented roles? You just talked about prompt engineering, maybe like designer, maybe AI content creator, maybe like some machine learning engineer or AI engineer. How fast these jobs are shooting up?
Personally, in my company, I don't see a lot of, AI specific roles, but there are a lot of companies, if you go to LinkedIn, you would see these openings popping up where they want a product manager who is AI focused, right?
Yeah.
Or they want a marketing guy who is an influencer marketing expert because influencer marketing is in right now.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of data scientist roles have come up. Data scientist roles, machine learning engineering roles, AI engineering roles are popping up.
Mm-hmm.
If you talk about Arista in general, I'm not sure how many openings do we have, but yes,
Yeah.
there is obviously an influx of those jobs in the market.
How's the job market right now? It's I'm in the market.
Pretty
I know
bad,
this stuff.
pretty bad right now, but yeah, you've got to be doing the right things and
Yeah.
be persistent in your efforts, and hopefully it should be good.
Yeah. Are your juniors looking for jobs like your like
Yeah, yeah,
alum from the university?
yeah,
So
yeah. My juniors are looking for job. In fact, some of my peers are also looking for job. My batchmates who still haven't received any offers. But that's why I said the market is pretty tough, and things are not the easiest out there. If you remain persistent, you might find one.
okay. What if Anjaneya has to start job search again? How would he navigate the market
I
now?
hope.
I wish you don't have to again, but like what if you have to do that?
I think I would do the same thing that I did last time while I was looking out for a job. I relied quite heavily on networking to connect with like-minded folks. And yeah, there's a targeted way of doing networking. So I would go back and do the same things all over again. I
Mhm.
was never, in US, there's a big myth that, hey, apply for 1,000 plus jobs and you will end
Oh
up
my
getting
God,
one, which is not true, honestly.
not true.
So
I have friends who have applied to over 3,000 plus applications. Those are smart guys. Like they can clear any interview if you give them a coding question or DSA
yeah,
question. Like hard level question, they will hardly think for 15, 20 minutes and then they will write the code out of it. And those
right.
guys are struggling for jobs.
Yeah,
So
I mean that's why I said you got to have a fair share of luck with you. You got to be at the right place at the right time, and more importantly, you got to be persistent in your efforts. If you do 500 applications in 2 weeks and then don't do anything for 4 weeks, that's not good, right? You got to be persistent day in day out. And yeah, I'm more from a perspective that networking helps you more. At
yeah.
least in my personal opinion, that's what I feel.
How did you network? Like just reach out people on LinkedIn or like cold messaging, email, or
Yeah,
like
I mean, all of it, honestly. Cold emails, yes, I've done that. Reaching out to people on LinkedIn, yes, I've done that. Both my internship opportunity and the full-time role that I have right now were LinkedIn reach outs. And meeting in person, yes, I've done that. Reaching out to my alumni, I've done that. Asking my professors for help, I've done that. Shout
yeah,
out to professors at Duke, they are amazing. They help a lot of folks get jobs. So yeah, I think that's what you do. Like when you're investing, everybody says that don't put all your money in one basket, spread it across. So that's true in networking as well. Just don't rely on one form of
one form
networking.
of
Make sure
networking.
you are having a diverse portfolio of what you do.
Right, that is obviously helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
I have
long do you guys expect the winter to last? Like, do you think that we are in a recession right now, and is it ever going to get better?
I think in the past few months, especially starting of 2024, that there was an improvement, I would say, in the market. Some people say that, hey, the true recession is still yet to come. Some people, this is the lowest that we can drop, and probably things are going to look better going forward. I think a lot will change after the elections here in the US. We'll have a more clearer picture once the
Yeah,
elections here in
elections
the
are
US are over.
right,
You
right.
think if Trump gets elected, is it generally better or worse for the Indian community of students looking to come abroad?
Should base their decisions of moving to the US depending on who the president here is. If thinking that, hey, this is the land of dreams, the American dream, I want to fulfill the American dream, that's a very wrong portrayal. Like India has shown in the past that yes, in 20 early you could say I want to move to the US because I want to be at the heart of innovation, etc., etc. I want to be in the Bay Area where innovation happens. I don't think that's true now. There's a lot of innovation happening in India as well. So anybody who's basing their decisions of coming to the US on the fact that, hey, I will have a very good standard of living in US compared to India and I learn a lot of money, that's not all true right now. So if you look at the salaries in US, there's not much difference from what you were getting in early 2000 or 2010s, right? It's
Really?
nearly just matching the inflation, right? Whereas if you look at
Hmm.
in India, the rise has been gigantic in terms of salary what they get in India right now. And then obviously you have so many difficulties in getting the H1B. Once you get an H1B, you want to get a green card. So it takes almost like half of your life to become a citizen of this country at present, right? If you came here in early 2000s and 2005, 2010, that's fine. At that time, it was fairly easy to get an H1B or a green card. Right now, it is not. So people should take those factors into account as well when deciding if they want to move to the US. If your purpose of coming to the US is to get the best quality of education, for sure you should come, yes. But if the purpose is to come here and stay here, become a citizen, then I'm not quite sure if you are going to get the results that you're looking for.
The people coming in 2005s and 4s, they are like getting it easier. They do get H1B easily, green card easily, given that they are like top-notch performance into the class, top-notch performance into the company they are working for, and top at everything. They have checked all the like check marks, like with green tick and everything, and then they have waited for 2026 to like land a green card for themselves. So yeah, so that's a harsh reality. Anjane, so you are having a job. You came as a student. You had your hardships. How's life has turned tables now?
Yeah,
How's life right now?
life's pretty good, I would say. I mean, I have a nice living here in the US. I have friends around me.
Where
And
are you established right now?
so I'm based out of Durham. So
Okay.
Durham is in North Carolina in the east coast of US.
Hmm.
So I'm still pretty close to Duke University where I graduated from. So
How far is Boston and New York?
so New York would be like a 9-hour drive. People take flights here in the US.
What
It's
do you
like
do in your
about
fun time in Durham? What do you
sorry.
do? What do you do in your free time?
There's not much that you can do around here in Durham. I just follow my hobbies of playing tennis. That's where most of my weekends and normal day also goes by.
Oh,
And yeah, and then you have stuff like top golf and axe throwing and all of that stuff that people do around here.
awesome. We are approaching like close to end of the episode. Before that, like after this, we will be having some rapid fire questions. But before we start the rapid fire questions, I have two questions for you.
Right.
And the first question goes, what are your future goals, both professionally and personally? Do you want to like stay in USA or you want to move to Dubai, Canada, India, Germany? Where? So yeah.
Right. Yeah, I'll break down my answer into parts. So, where do I see myself professionally? I think I'm still in the exploration phase of my professional journey. Luckily, I'm at a place where I have the opportunity of exploring whatever I want. So,
Mhm.
probably, still get my hands dirty on what excites me to, work every day.
Mhm.
So, not a very definitive professional goal, but yeah, still try and do different things and see what I want to do in the long term.
Do you want to stay as a project manager or do you want to transition to the product marketing thing that you had your internships in?
My designation right now is a project manager, but like I mentioned, like since I'm doing so many different things, I'm getting exposed to so many different things at work. I wouldn't just restrict myself to calling myself a project manager. I work as a product marketing guy also on few days. I'm creating data sheet collaterals as well for sales enablement. So I wouldn't say that there's a title that I'm after. I would say it's what has always motivated me is to create an impact. If I'm able to create an impact, while being a project manager, that's fine. If I'm able to create a big impact by being a product marketing guy, that's also fine. At the end of the day, you want to make impact in your company, right?
Right, right,
Be it through any job title.
right,
So
right.
that's what I'm after, I would say.
Okay.
And personally, I think of late I've realized that my body needs a lot of attention. So drink more water, eat proper food, do your workouts.
Right.
So pay attention to your body, because I'm 26 years old now. So I've crossed that barrier of being of over 25. And that's when people say that start focusing on your body as well. And
Mhm.
so I've had a lot of injuries recently. So that's where my focus is gonna be on a personal front, focus on
While
my
playing tennis?
so I think that's where personally I want to be.
Awesome. And what about monetary goals? Like, do you wanna like, what's the amount of money that you would want to make in a year that would put you to on a like satisfactory pedestal? Like, you are like, let's say for me, like, I wanna make right now, I'm chasing like at least 300K a year. That's what I'm chasing. Like, I'm not saying like I'm gonna get that guy, just to be clear, but I will get it, manifestation.
Right.
But I'm chasing that, and then there are people who are chasing $1 million. Donald Trump is chasing $1 billion. So what's Anjaneya's goal? Like, what's the amount of money, monetary goals of you in a year?
Honestly, I don't think any amount of money is ever enough. You give me $5,000 a day, I'll spend $5,000 a day. If you give me
Oh, I
10,000, I
get
can
that.
spend 10 also. So I don't think there's a monetary goal that I have as of now. Yes, I want to earn a lot of money and save and do the things that I want. Even if I can earn, say, about 200K a year, that's
Okay.
that's good enough for me to live the life that I want as of now.
As of now, right, right. Amazing.
Correct.
By the way, do you read any books? Like, is that one of your hobby?
No, that's been one of my regrets for quite a while now. So I'm not a huge book person in general. I consume a lot of podcast and a lot of video content, but not a big book guy. I've started reading now, so I'm reading a book by one of my favorite professors, Professor Tony O'Driscoll. So the book's name is Everyday Superhero. Talks a lot about leadership in the corporate world. And then the other book which is on my list is Sapiens, which gives you a lot of information about how
Human
humans
behavior.
think and yeah, human beings and yeah.
Human behavior. Yuval Noah Harari wrote that. You're right.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Moving towards the rapid fire questions, like I enjoy this part a lot.
Okay.
So you just have to like just choose from one or two, or you can give your answers in like one statement.
Okay.
Okay. Awesome. Apple or Android?
Apple.
AI, more of a boon or a bane?
More of a boon.
Boon. Work from home or office?
Hybrid.
You have to choose one.
Office.
Office. Do you believe in the hustle culture or maintaining a strict work-life balance? Hustle. Degrees or skills?
Skills.
Traditional education system becoming obsolete with the rise of online courses?
False.
Okay. AI replacing jobs, inevitable or overhyped?
Overhyped.
Would you trust a fully autonomous car in your life?
No.
Is social media doing more harm than good?
Probably yes right now.
Yeah. Would you sacrifice some privacy for better technology?
Aren't we already?
All of us are already doing
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
that. It's not our choice.
Right.
If you can change one thing about tech industry, what would it be?
If I could change one thing about
One
tech,
thing, yeah.
bring in more regulations. Yeah.
Okay. Should companies have access to employee social media profiles?
No.
Books or podcasts for learning?
Podcast.
Morning person or night owl?
Night owl.
Night owl. Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos?
Jeff Bezos.
Okay.
Depends on which industry you want me to put those guys in. If you are talking Elon
Money,
in tech,
money,
no.
money, no? Okay. Yeah, because I don't
In
think
terms of money,
Jeff, yeah. Like he makes some rash decisions, Elon. Still
as
work.
long as Elon is in the automotive, making stuff is his thing. Going into tech is not. So I think as long as Elon stays out of software, it's fine. Like tech is fine.
Okay. Entrepreneurship or job?
Entrepreneurship.
Entrepreneurship. Awesome.
Right. So if you were to drop everything and start a business today and you had $1 million of funding,
Mhm.
what would it be?
Well, does it have to be a tech business?
No, not
Anything.
necessarily. It could be anything.
Probably put in that money in a startup idea that I've always had and start building that.
Which would be?
Can't share it online.
Can you share the domain of it? Like whether it is
It's a
tech
shared
or
economy based model of, playing games.
oh, okay, okay. Not very descriptive, but like I can make something out of
Yeah.
it. That was the rapid fire questions. With that, like just two wrap up questions for you. Is there anything that you want to share with our audience or your listeners?
Focus on, your well-being.
Yeah.
Put emphasis on being motivated and staying hungry. Have the right kind of idols that helps you or keep you motivated to do the things.
Oh.
So yeah.
And where can people find and follow your work?
So people can find me on my LinkedIn profile,
That is
That's Anjaneya 97. That's
Anjaneya 97, Anjaneya Tiwari, guys.
Mhm.
I will add all the links into the description anyways, but just wanted you to say awesome. And do you have a Twitter handle?
No, I'm not on Twitter.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, what do you guys think about AI? Does it require more regulations, or is it something that is going in the right direction?
AI race is so fast moving, and the people who are leading that race are so intelligent that senators or government people or people sitting at Sansad Bhavan of India, though it's just a bouncer on top of their head, they don't understand it at all. And these guys have already crossed that security benchmarks that a lot of us people's data is at stake already. Obviously, there should be regulations, but we are lagging far, far, far behind. That's one thing that I can say. And but I'm really excited for the future, and I hope like it doesn't turn out to be evil to society, and it won't. It won't. I'm very optimistic about the future. Personally, I feel that this race, I personally want Mark Zuckerberg to win this race. Like, yeah, because
Right.
he's yeah.
A lot of people want him to win.
Yeah.
Even if regulation were to arrive, I think it's never going to catch up. And somebody's going to open source the weights and all, and we'll always have bad actors. Any new technology that comes around is, it's bound to have those challenges. But ultimately, I'm an optimist. I think we will soon get to a utopia kind of situation, where work is no longer a thing and resources are abundant and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Hopefully that happens in my lifetime.
That will. I'm expecting that to be by end of this decade. By 2030, we will be having like a lot of thing automated. We won't be working on checking our emails. Yesterday, I was listening to this podcast. That was such a cool concept that when you wake up in the morning, all your emails have a reply written already, and then you choose you want to send it or not. Such a cool thing, right? And these sort of use cases will be like just coming up like so. I'm really
Right.
excited.
Cool.
Perfect, guys. It was a good episode. I hope you enjoyed it,
But
and
yeah, I had fun. So
you
hope
had fun,
it was
and we
able to
try to
contribute.
get the guests like after a year or two, so that like just to track where they are into their journey, so that they can share more insights and. So yeah, it was lovely talking to you.